Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us live on our ABC15 Facebook page and on ABC15.com. We have a wonderful virtual town hall for you today. I'm being joined by these wonderful women up on the screen right now to help in the job hunt during a pandemic. So with the Rebound Arizona, we've been trying to find ways to keep you informed and let you know people are still hiring. There are still jobs available to you. We know unemployment may be at an all-time high. We know that you're looking for maybe a new career even because the last one really isn't an option anymore. We've got some options for you today that we want to talk about, how to land that virtual job interview. And we want to make sure if you have some comments, if you have some questions, type them in for us and we'll do our best to get your questions answered. So I want to introduce who we have on the screen who's joining us today. We have Courtney Nelson with Goodwill joining us. Alana O'Neill is joining us from State Farm, representing with that red, of course. Leah Hill from Honor Health joining us from her home, and Liz Martinez from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. All of them looking for you and looking to hire, looking to make sure you know that they are here. So I want to kind of go around the room, the virtual room here, and talk about who you guys are and the companies you work for, and kind of maybe just a quick tip for someone that you think they might need in this job search. Courtney, why don't I start with you?
Great. Yeah, good morning. I am with Goodwill of Central and Northern Arizona. We are a local nonprofit organization. We are self-sustaining, so a lot of people know us for our retail locations, and we do have just over 90 locations. But those locations are really to help us to live out our mission, which is to empower individuals, strengthen family, and build stronger communities. And we do that by providing no-cost career development, training, and education resources. So anybody on our team is able to, whether you're working in retail, if you're working at the corporate office, or if you're working on the mission, you're able to really make an impact on our community, providing hope and helping people find that really sustainable job that can help them, families, and themselves.
Courtney, I think that's a great point. And what we've kind of been discussing about offline before we came on was that we hope this is the Hope virtual town hall. We're showing people that there are options for them, and it's just a matter of finding them, right? So Alana, why don't I jump over to you with State Farm? Tell me a little bit about the company, what you do, and maybe a tip for people who are in the job search right now.
So I'm Alana O'Neill. I am a talent brand specialist at State Farm here in Tempe, Arizona. We're located right off of Tempe Town Lake. And what I do a lot is just try to help job seekers out in the community, connect with them, tell them about our positions that we have at State Farm, and hopefully we're successful and be able to help them with a career, because I've been with State Farm 33 years. Yes.
And Alana, I just saw one question kind of pop up from Wendy Jameson that I just kind of want to touch base, because I've worked with you at State Farm before about how you guys are hiring right here in the Valley. She's saying it's everyone out of work with low pay. Loads of high paying jobs have disappeared or been furloughed, but there are some good career options for people that are even above minimum wage. Can you talk a little bit about that, Alana?
So right now we definitely are looking for software developers. So if you have that technical skill, especially in Java, language in Java, Python, SQL, we definitely are looking for those candidates there.
Perfect. And we're going to get more into that in just a second. I just want to make sure, Wendy, you knew that we're watching you and we're looking for jobs that are both entry level as well as if you have experience in one field. And we also want to talk about the transition that some people may be making from one career to another and those transferable skills that we can really, really highlight. Leah Hill is also joining us from Honor Health. Hi, Leah. Tell me a little bit about the company and maybe a tip for people who are looking for a job today.
Sure. Hi, Megan. Hi, everyone. Honor Health is hiring. We have over 400 jobs available, and my role at Honor Health is really to build partnerships with each and every one of you, pipelines and pathways to one of those 400 jobs. We are looking for entry-level, experienced. We're looking for full-time, part-time, day shift, night shift, weekend shift. And for those of you not familiar with Honor Health, we do have 5 medical centers in the Scottsdale and Phoenix areas, as well as 70 plus medical group locations. And we are opening our 6th hospital in the next few weeks. So we need you. Apply today, honorhealthjobs.com.
Perfect. I know we have some really exciting opportunities coming that we're going to get into. Liz Martinez, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, joining us with a fantastic background. By the way, tell us a little bit about the company and maybe a tip for people.
Yeah, of course. So again, I'm with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, and our mission is to provide the best value in healthcare insurance to make Arizona healthier. And we really value that. We're looking for all different types of positions. Of course, our entry-level positions, customer service. You'll see all of our postings posted, though. We have anywhere from marketing to IT, just all across the board. And that is at jobs.azblue.com.
Perfect. Liz, thank you so much. So I'm already watching some of the comments come in from people. Monica is saying that she's starting a new career with State Farm. So congratulations to her. She's very excited about her new path as well. Someone was also asking, I see the comments kind of coming in, any remote jobs from Trish Chavez. So I know maybe some people, your companies may be starting remote now due to the pandemic. I've heard some companies thinking we'll offer some kind of transitional period, or some people will stay home. Alana, since we were kind of talking about State Farm here, what's the plan then for remote options for people right now? And do you think those will continue if someone wants to stay remote? What's the process like for that?
So definitely uncertainty. So, with the environment that we're in right now, but opportunities are posted on statefarm.com careers, but unknown about if it's, we're at home, working from home right now because of the situation, but we're uncertain about what the future will be for us, but we'd love to get back in our building and our campus on our beautiful Tempe Town Lake. So.
Absolutely. I know many people some people love working from home. Some people are just so sick of it right now. And some people just want a job altogether. And the option is great right now that there is that for the time being, and then we can kind of continue and see what could be next. Leah Hill, I want to talk a little bit about finding a job, the process itself, and maybe how to stand out. Are there certain things that you're looking for on a resume when someone submits that might trigger them to start a conversation?
Sure. So I'm a certified career coach and I love to talk about this topic. So you'll have to cut me off because I could spend hours on this, but no, I'll keep it brief. One of my helpful hints is to, at least for Honor Health, read the job posting. Make sure you know what you're applying for, and make sure that you're applying for the location of your choice, the shift of your choice, and of course, the job of your choice. The nice thing about applying at honorhealthjobs.com is you can apply for multiple roles simultaneously. So if there are several that interest you, apply for all of them. Look at the job posting and look for keywords that may stand out. I give this helpful hint to a lot of job seekers to copy and paste the job posting into a word cloud, for example. And a free service that's available online is called worditout.com. And look for the keywords that pop out. Those are going to be the most prominent keywords within the job posting. If you start to infuse those keywords into your resume, into your application, into a cover letter, if it's required or requested, those are going to be, you're kind of speaking the language of the organization. You're speaking the language of the recruiter. So those will be some helpful hints to kind of get you noticed by the recruiter. And also, again, like I said, just read the job posting, make sure you fully understand it, and that you're at least 90% qualified for that position. I tell people if you're 100% qualified, then you may get bored easily within your first few days of the job. There's no room for growth and development, but we want someone who is also competent, comfortable, capable within the role. So make sure you can do at least 90% of the job.
I think that's a great point, is you really want to tailor to who you want a job from. You want to show that you are willing to put in the work, you're willing to do the research, and that will go a long way based off of what you're saying, just even looking at the description and really taking that into account. We have a couple comments. Sandra Escobedo was saying, info on applying, please. So I want to make sure we get that information out there. We have two healthcare professionals as well on here, because Nancy Case also said, I'm interested. I would love to work. We worked at Banner Health with 22 years of experience. So maybe let's start with you really quick. I know you mentioned it, where to apply for Honor Health right now and some of the opportunities, just kind of repeating that for people who may just be joining us.
Honorhealthjobs.com is where it's at. Over 400 positions currently available. Our job board is updated twice a day, Mondays through Fridays, mornings and afternoons, and positions are posted for a minimum of 3 days. So if you see something today, have that resume ready and then tailor it to us, and hopefully we'll be able to make a connection.
Perfect. I want to jump over to Liz Martinez as well to kind of talk about some of the similar questions I asked Leah when it comes to you. You know, you're a medical professional. What kind of things should people be having on their resumes to tailor to your organization specifically?
Sure. Piggybacking off of what Leah said, of course, you know, making sure your resume hits all those minimum qualifications, any of those preferred qualifications, that's going to get you to that next step of our process, which is speaking to a recruiter typically. And then during that conversation with the recruiter, we want to know that you've done your research, you know, you've looked at our company, our organization, you know what our mission is. You talk about how you can support that mission to make Arizona healthier. You know, it's easier to show up for work when you can enjoy the work that you're doing. So just knowing that you've done that research and you're excited to bring what you have to the table and join us in our mission speaks a lot as well. So your resume definitely gets you. You know, your resume definitely gets you to that next step, proving that you meet the minimum qualifications. And then, you know, after that, like I said, it's doing your research and sharing how you can support that mission.
Absolutely. And I was trying to cut you off, and I'm sorry, because I wanted to be like, hey, so make sure there are people commenting being, hey, where can we apply there? Quickly as well, what's the website that you think people should go to if they're interested in a career with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona?
Sure. Our career page is jobs.azblue.com.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to touch on that a lot. I just want to make sure people jumping out that they know where to go for a lot of this. And I want to jump over to Courtney Nelson because Eric Judy has a comment that I think makes a lot of sense. Send your resume to a professional to have it look sharp. First impression is everything. And I think given what we're dealing with right now, we can't necessarily walk into a business or establishment, shake someone's hand and tell them, I want to work for you, and really show them the personality that many people may be used to. So now that resume, that piece of paper is going to be what sets you apart from someone. Courtney Nelson with Goodwill, I know you guys have your career center that can help with a lot of this. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of the resume and what you guys can offer?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're all finding ourselves in this different time where we're working from home, working remotely, or you're finding yourself unemployed for the first time in a while for some people, and maybe you haven't worked on a resume and you don't know where to start, and that is very common. And Goodwill offers that career development, that training, and that helps from everything from the resume to the interview skills. And so you can come into any one of our career centers if you want to leave the home or if you don't have computer and internet access. Or you can also go on to mycareeradvisor.com, recognizing that a lot of people don't want to go out yet. They're not comfortable or they have a computer at home and want to be able to do their work from there. And you can connect with a career navigator. And what those career navigators do are they're going to listen to you. They'll do a career assessment with you. Where have you been? What's your recent employment? What are your skills? And then what jobs are available? And how do we take those skills that you've had? And maybe that company or that industry is not hiring today, but there are several industries that are, and our career navigators can help you with those transferable skills. So looking at what you have done and making sure that you're highlighting them, bullet pointing them out, trying to keep that resume as succinct as possible to no more than 2 pages, so that you can really hit on those key points. Leah and Liz talked about it. You really want to make sure you know who you're going to be sending your resume to, who you're interviewing with, and our career navigators can really help you. They can look at those companies, what positions are available, and make sure that you're really highlighting the skills that you have.
And Courtney Goodwill of Central Northern Arizona has joined the live stream. So actually in the comment section, if you didn't see it pop up on your screen here, they have the link to My Career Advisor in the comment section, which is up on your screen again right now to make sure you know where it is. And Myra has a great comment. The Goodwill Career Centers are free, so you don't really have a need to empty your pocketbook for a beautiful resume, is what she's saying here, which is what you've just been talking about. And taking the time to tailor your resume is absolutely critical in all of this. I want to touch a little bit more, Courtney, on those transferable skills, if you don't mind. We've talked previously in stories about the Goodwill virtual job hiring fairs that you guys have been doing and seeing success out of that. But it's also about realizing some of those industries may not be an option anymore. Maybe you worked in hospitality and you've been laid off from your job. Well, you've told me before that's a great customer service skill to have, and that's something that can be transferable. So can you explain a little bit more about how you could still be eligible for a job in a particular career path without specifically being in that field?
Yeah, sometimes we forget that the skills that we're learning within the industry we're working in actually does have those skills that will apply to other places. And so if you have been in hospitality, that is great customer service. And so that shows that you can be organized. You can be on deadlines and contact people and respond to. And so there are a lot of industries that are going to look at that as an asset to their company, again, depending on what those positions they're looking to hire for. Also, if you don't feel like you have the skills, if your industry is gone and you know you need to brush up on some things, I know Alana commented on the technology jobs that are available right now with a lot of companies, and maybe you haven't been as comfortable working on a computer in Microsoft Office. We provide no-cost digital training services as well. So take this time to look at what you have been doing, what you're comfortable doing, brush up on some of those skills so that those companies that are hiring today, you can make sure that you can show you've gone a little bit further, you've done the training and the education that you needed to make sure that you're ready and have the skills that for the jobs that are hiring now.
Absolutely. So what we're doing now, we're obviously all on a virtual realm and having these kinds of conversations. I'm looking at everybody's backgrounds. Liz, we're getting all these comments about what an incredible background you have. We're wondering if that's a comic store or your house, but everyone's very impressed. And so backgrounds, lighting, your audio, different things like that. Alana O'Neill of State Farm, I want to jump over to you. What are some of the things that you can tell people about nailing that virtual job interview and making a good impression right off the bat?
So definitely looking at the camera, so you could definitely, show your personality there, but lighting is important. Sound is important to check, your tone of your conversation, but just like the energy that we know that you're really excited about, this opportunity that is in front of you, but definitely the connection is definitely smile and just be prepared for any questions and be precise for all the questions. So yes.
Is there
definitely a way to connect with individuals virtually?
Right. And we think we've kind of all been practicing maybe with friends or family in a different way. Do you suggest people truly practice a job interview ahead of time, Alana, to make sure that they're at least comfortable with the camera and especially comfortable, not just in a friend setting, but maybe so in a more professional setting?
Yes, definitely always like to do mock interviews if you're a college student or if you're someone who's had some experience in the workforce. Goodwill has been so helpful for a lot of our associates that have gone through Goodwill with mock interviews. So definitely is just take your time and find a friend and do some mock interviews. Yes.
Because I know I do this as a job professionally as a reporter looking into the camera. It's still weird though. It is still a weird phenomenon to bring a connection to something you can't see specifically. So I think it's really important to practice. Find that friend is a great suggestion, Alana. Leah Hill, I want to jump over to you because you talked about, your expertise in talking with people who are looking for jobs all the time. What can you offer them for advice about a virtual interview as well? Because so many things could go wrong if we don't do it right. So what are some of the do's and don'ts from your perspective?
So again, I'm going to piggyback off Alana in the fact that mock interviews are a great way to practice. And even if you don't have a friend or someone you feel comfortable with practicing, go ahead and just practice with yourself. With our technology these days, you can set up your device to look right at you and just hit the record button and see how you look, see how you sound. Do you have any mannerisms, such as using your hands a lot, that may be perceived as distracting by the interviewer potentially? Or maybe like if your camera slows down, for example, is it going to freeze your hand in front of your face? And that's probably not something that you want to occur. But finding a quiet place, a well-lit place, making sure that you don't have the halo effect, for example. It's great and it makes you look good, but at the same time, it can be distracting. And sometimes it may not look good. So sometimes having overhead light or light off in the background, but not directly behind you, can be helpful. And just making sure that you eliminate distractions also, whether it be the TV or children or a pet, for example. And if you can, close the door. If you're concerned that those distractions are going to be interfering with what you're trying to do, close the door. And again, you can kind of work these out as you practice more and more and kind of get to know how you look and sound on camera, but also how your background is.
I don't have children, but I do have a dog, and I can attest every time there is something of importance happening, there has to be a bark. So I definitely think we have to take those things into consideration ahead of time. So preparing is really crucial, more so maybe than ever before when it came to a regular job interview, because you're having to clean up the entire environment around you. Leah, can you touch a little bit about that perspective and the importance of preparing?
Sure. So I think the verdict's still out on virtual backgrounds. I personally don't like them, only because sometimes I feel as if I lose an appendage, for example, and I don't want it to be my head or my mouth. So I try to stay away from the virtual backgrounds, but it's all up to you in terms of what you feel more comfortable using, but also how your environment looks. So make sure that it's professional and that it's something that you would want someone to think is your office environment. So maybe eliminating anything that may not send the right message. For example, you probably don't want to have your underwear hanging in the doorway, or you may want to clean up the messes within the immediate scope of the camera. And so just making sure that, again, it portrays the type of environment that's suited for the position. And if you're applying for an artsy type position, for example, maybe it's okay to look like you have a creative environment behind you, but making sure that, again, it looks like the workspace in which you might be working for the next few months as a result of the pandemic.
Yeah, that's great advice. And speaking of creative backgrounds, I want to jump over to Liz Martinez. And I think, too, showing your personality is important to a certain degree. What do you expect from someone, Liz, when it comes to a virtual interview and showing their personality?
Yeah. This is pretty new to all of us. Before the pandemic, I didn't do a lot of virtual interviews or panels or job fairs. So it's new to me, too, and new to our team. So just understanding that it's new to a lot of people that you're going to come into contact with, that'll help ease your nerves a little bit. But, some things are out of our control. And, at that same time, we are human. So if there's, if you plan to have your newborn nap during your interview time and she might wake up, just being open and sharing that information up front. Or if you have a AC repairman coming and this was the only time that they could schedule, so you might be interrupted for a brief second, just saying those items up front really helps that interview go through smoothly, even though there may be some distractions that again are out of your control. But like Alana and Leah said, just doing your best to have a clean environment, a quiet environment. Limit your distractions, I think, are all helpful. But again, you're getting an insight to people's personality, as you can see, as well. So just being professional in what you decide to share.
I think that's great too. To a certain degree, I think we all understand we are at home. There are going to be things that happen. That is no one's fault. Just limiting that as much as we can is usually the best option. Courtney, I want to jump back over to you because you have a question that I think might be great for you. It's from Wendy Jameson. And she's saying, does AZ offer low-cost career counseling for older adults with lengthy careers in high-skill industries? Much of this advice seems to be for newbies. So she's saying that she feels like this is all for newbies, but you guys are able to go over really anyone's resume, regardless of their experience level, if it's entry level or different things like that. So kind of what can you offer when it comes to that one?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's exactly some of the individuals that we're seeing during this pandemic that are coming to us that have been employed for 30 plus years and are finding themselves unemployed for the first time and don't know where to start. And that's all about connections and looking at what you did during that time. And so our career navigators are able to help you with that. Let's talk through what you did in those 30 years. Let's talk about what industries are available. What skills do you have that will transfer, or what skills do you maybe need to gain before going to those other employers? And then making those connections and allowing you to see who is available, who is hiring, what skills you have that will transfer over to that, and being able to be ready to present yourself and just being authentic, having that conversation to say, I was in this industry for 30 plus years. These are my skills. These are my leadership skills, talking about the projects that you've accomplished, some great examples that you can talk to that really applied in that industry, but they can see how that it'll apply in this new industry, and being able to just showcase all of the great work that you did. That is wonderful to have that experience, and to be able to talk about that experience and how you can apply that experience to a new employer is very beneficial.
Absolutely. And kind of a similar question on the same plane, at least, that I want to get answered here from Rommel Domingo. Courtney, I'll go back to you on this one as well, because it's kind of specific to what's your advice for a job seeker who has not been employed for almost 10 years and would like to be employed again. So we were just kind of talking about someone who may have a lot of experience, but maybe someone who did previously, but has been out of the work industry for a while. What kind of advice can you give someone who's looking to get back into it right now?
Yeah. One, don't lose hope. Even if you haven't been employed in 10 years, that doesn't mean that there are not some really great opportunities. And so again, I would just encourage you to look at what it has you have been doing. For Goodwill, I encourage you to come in, meet at no cost with a career navigator and a career advisor who can look at what it was you did 10 years ago, what skills that you still have are available, have you been brushing up on. This is a great time to be brushing up on those skills, and then learn new ones that apply to the jobs that are available today. Technology is huge. If you haven't worked on a computer, haven't worked in Microsoft, in Excel, make sure you're brushing up on those skills so you have those available when an employer is hiring. And just talk through what it looked like and why. I mean, again, be authentic, be real. This is the break you took for 10 years. This is why, but this is why I'm looking to get back into the workforce, and this is what I can provide to your company.
Great advice, Courtney. I want to just remind everyone kind of what we're doing. If you're just joining us for this virtual town hall, I'm joined live by these wonderful women here from a variety of different industries across the valley, across the state, that are hiring. So we're talking about the job hunt during the pandemic. And if you go to our website, abc15.com/town hall, all of them have been talking about the links that you can go to start applying for those jobs. So we have Alana O'Neill with State Farm, Leah Hill with Honor Health, Liz Martinez with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, and we were just listening to Courtney Nelson with Goodwill giving some advice to everyone. So we're seeing your questions coming in, so make sure you keep bringing them our way, and we'll keep getting them answered. Alana, I want to jump to you. We were talking offline about how you guys also have a lot of training and also this upcoming internship event that you guys are having as well. So
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about the integration process for some of those new employees, the training process, and some of those upcoming opportunities.
So definitely, State Farm definitely believes in training their associates so they feel comfortable, in their roles, and just to give great customer service and experience to our customers. So definitely, we believe in training and ready for you, so you can really give that experience and knowledge to our customers. And as far as internships, college students, we definitely have quite a few internship opportunities, and we're having a State Farm College Internship Fair next week. That's next Thursday, September the 10th. It's a virtual fair, and to sign up for it, you can just go to our website, statefarm.com/careers. So definitely looking for that. Training is just, we believe in making our associates feel comfortable, and it helps with retention because they know what they're doing and they feel good about doing it. So yeah.
And I've noticed some in the comments, Alana, a few people, from what I could tell, are State Farm employees and have loved it. So talk to me a little bit about the culture of State Farm, and maybe pitch to people who are watching, why would they want to apply for your company?
Definitely, the culture in any location that we have is just awesome. We're very supportive of each other. We want to help you develop. We have activities where you can engage and network with other departments, other leaders, other associates in areas, employee resource groups, development groups. Are you ready, like for resumes, or how you can just network with other associates at State Farm? So we just want to keep them engaged and make them feel like we want to help you develop yourself and just grow with the company like I have.
I think that's great to see that it could not just be a job, which is, obviously great in the goal, but it could be a career and you could fall in love with something and have a support system, which I think is super important. Leah Hill, I want to jump over to you and talk a little about the culture of Honor Health and pitch to some people maybe about choosing to work for you and what kind of people are you looking to employ?
Sure. So the culture of Honor Health is very big on learning, growth, and development. I myself have been with the organization for 17 and a half years and held at least 10 different jobs. And so if you're looking to learn, if you're looking to grow your career, or even if you're just happy where you are and want a supportive employer, Honor Health is for you. One of the reasons, or one of the examples of how we support learning, growth, and development is our fantastic tuition assistance program, $5,250 for all eligible full-time and part-time employees after 6 months of employment. $5,250 in either reimbursed or prepaid tuition, depending on the program of study or class. And that's working a minimum of 16 hours per week. So we really support growth and development and being able to give you the tools and the resources to help you succeed in your careers and being able to help you promote yourself through growth and development. And another thing that we're very passionate about at Honor Health is diversity, inclusion, and belonging. Being able to not only provide services to our patients from a diverse employee base, and even though we all may, for example, we may have the same skin color or we may speak the same language, that doesn't mean that we're the same. So we don't all have the same skin color at Honor Health, and we are all not the same. We all come from different backgrounds, experiences, and histories. But one other thing in terms of what we're looking for is those individuals who can embody our values: innovation, collaboration, accountability, respect, and empathy. If you have those values within your personal belief system, then we certainly would encourage you to look at us, because we want those individuals to be able to, our employees, to be able to walk the talk.
And Leah, we were talking about this right at the start of this live broadcast, but in case someone has just joined, you were talking about, you want to shout from the rooftops, the hiring that is going on at Honor Health. Tell me a little bit about the positions you're looking to fill and really how many.
Sure. So if you go to honorhealthjobs.com right now, you will see over 400 positions that are available, and they span the distance from Lake Pleasant to Mesa, Anthem to South Tempe, and everywhere in between, depending on if you're looking for a medical group location or a hospital medical center location. Again, clinical, non-clinical, full-time, part-time, day shift, night shift, weekend shift. And we have weekly hiring events going on to hire individuals into nursing, allied health, food services, and housekeeping positions. But again, there are more positions available in addition to those on honorhealthjobs.com. So a few positions to highlight would be respiratory therapists, kind of the unsung or sung, hopefully, heroes of COVID-19, experienced nurses, and food service and environmental service professionals.
So we're talking about entry level to experience. There's really something everywhere in between is what you're talking about.
Exactly. If there are 400 people on this Facebook Live event today, I'd love to hire you all.
That is great to hear. Liz, I want to get to you in just a second to talk more about Blue Cross Blue Shield. But I wanted to answer a question that just popped in from Pamela Bethel. Alana, I'm going to shoot it to you because it's State Farm oriented. If you kind of she's asking what types of jobs does State Farm have besides office work? I don't know if you have any jobs besides office work. So kind of give me the rundown of who you're looking to hire for right now and what those jobs entail.
So you definitely want to go to statefarm.com/careers for jobs. Our positions are on opportunities change frequently. So if you don't see a position on there that interests you, join our talent neighborhood. So it's right on our website, and that way that we can see and send you jobs of your skill sets based on your skill sets and your interests. So join our talent neighborhood if you're not seeing a job right now currently. But as you know, it's based on business needs. And once we hear some opportunities comes up, we'll post it on our website. So we definitely love bilingual candidates, customer service candidates, and definitely technical opportunities there.
And Alana, how quickly are you looking to hire some of these positions? I know that Wendy specifically was talking about her son and that she just wants to get to work and he wants to get to work as quickly as possible, like many of us, I assume, would want to do. What's the process like once we score the job? What's those next steps to before we get, there's a process, of course, to it, but what's the process like and how quickly does it happen?
So you apply on statefarm.com careers, and then what you do, depending on the role that you're going for, if it's like customer entry level, there could be an assessment test that you need to require. And also on-demand video, just like we're doing now, virtual video. And then some might be live. Well, we can't do live now, but that would be an additional virtual interview with the business area. So it could just vary. We're getting a lot of candidates applying for opportunities, so it definitely can get vary. And we do background check and again assessments. So,
but you got the positions and you want to fill them, right?
Yes, definitely.
Great news. Pamela says, thank you so much for that response. So thank you, Alana, for taking the time to answer her question specifically. Liz Martinez, I want to jump over to you to talk a little bit about Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. What do you guys do? Who are you looking for as a person to employ? Tell me a little bit about the company and the culture there.
Sure. So just like everyone else mentioned, I mean, I think our benefits are very competitive. I think if I had a selling point for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, it would definitely be our culture. With the pandemic, we went from 20% working remotely to 97% now working from home. The organization is just really taking time and thought behind bringing us back to the office. We do have a return to office strategy, and then also a return back to home strategy as well, because we don't know what's going to happen when we do return back to the office. So just I appreciate their fluid, and their thought process behind, keeping us safe. Still constantly looking for ways to celebrate employees and engage employees, support employees. A lot of our, we used to have a gym on site. So a lot of those tools and resources have now been moved to the virtual platforms, offering group exercise classes through Zoom. Our dietitian is available for virtual consultations. So just being really innovative and creative and new ways to support their employees remotely. And just looking for employees or candidates that can support, again, that mission that we have. One of our values is caring, and that really shows across the organization. Our most recent employee engagement survey indicated, that a lot of our employees feel that the culture at Blue Cross Blue Shield Arizona is really family oriented. And I think you'll see that from the get-go, from the application process, from onboarding to offboarding, you'll experience that for sure.
And I'm sure you guys are looking for a variety of different positions as well, Liz. Can you touch on some of the different job titles? We're also getting some questions about, from Trish Chavez, what's the pay range for Blue Cross Blue Shield? What's the range? Are we looking for entry level? Are we looking for people who have a little bit more experience? And what can they expect once they get on the job?
Yeah, like Alana said, with State Farm, it really depends on our business need. We do have customer service representatives. That's considered our entry-level position, starting at $17 an hour. We offer a training incentive. And then, of course, when you're on the floor, you'll be eligible for those full incentives. Our IT positions, it really just varies on the position. But again, if you go to jobs.azblue.com, there's an option on there to engage with our chatbot called Olivia. You can ask to speak to a staffing specialist specifically. So if you don't see a position that you're interested in posted today, create those relationships, reach out, engage with the staffing specialist, talk more about your career path, and just, make that personal connection now. We're definitely open to that. We have a large presence on social media platforms as well. So just encourage people to engage with us. Again, if you don't see something open right now that fits your skill set or what you're looking for, having those conversations and just getting out there and creating those networks.
Absolutely. I want to direct one of these questions to Courtney Nelson as well. We're looking for, someone's looking for a job in Prescott specifically. Some people are looking to work from home permanently, despite whether or not the pandemic, how long we're going for here. So you guys have options to kind of, if someone comes to you and says, hey, I live here and I need a job here, or I'm looking for this, you guys can kind of help direct them on the right path.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have career services throughout the state. So we actually have a career center up in Prescott. We have stores in Prescott and Prescott Valley in Northern Arizona and Flagstaff, like Havasu and Sholo. And we have career development teams that are spread out and they connect with great employers. The three lovely ladies that are here today with us, we have employer relations teams that have connected with them. And so we always talk about which employers are hiring, where they're hiring, and how do we get those job seekers connected directly with those employers. We've been doing monthly virtual hiring events, and that's when we're able to feature a lot of those companies. And we've done that not just in Phoenix, but we've had those events in Yuma, we've had them in Flagstaff, up in Prescott, as well as in Lake Havasu area. So wherever you really are, if you go on to mycareeradvisor.com or go to goodwillaz.org, you're able to find your closest location or connect with an employer that's hiring.
And we have been highlighting some of those virtual job fairs and the success behind them. So that has been really cool to see everyone taking advantage of what's out there and utilizing it. So I want to make sure everyone who is watching this live or watching it later on abc15.com/town hall, that there are options for people, and all of you are working to make sure. So we're almost running out of time. We've already been talking for about 40 minutes. So I want to give you guys kind of that last moment to talk to everyone, maybe give them a tip about the job search, how to keep the hope alive, and any last information about your company. Courtney, you were right next to me on this side, so I'll have to go first, Courtney, with Goodwill.
Yeah, absolutely. And how I started talking about Goodwill is just about hope. And every day, that's what we're doing. We're connecting with job seekers in the community who are providing hope. And that's everything from in our retail stores, at our corporate center, Mission. We've got a great operations center that has transportation and it has e-commerce involved. And everybody's job really goes back to being able to make an impact right here in our community. And if you are in need of a job and don't know where to start, I encourage you to visit mycareeradvisor.com or connect with a career navigator today, and they can really help you get on that next path to finding that great new job.
And at every level, what we're talking about, if you haven't had a job in a few years, or if you have a lot of experience, or you are looking to start over, that is a great place to go. Alana O'Neill, State Farm, any last words for our viewers?
Yes. Again, if you do not see an opportunity when you go to our findjobs.statefarm.com, join our talent neighborhood, and also college students, or if you have a current college students, please join us at our State Farm College Internship Fair. They have tons of opportunities, and I'm always open to new connections on LinkedIn. Send me a private message, and we can chat away. So thank you.
Perfect, Alana. Thank you. Leah Hill, any last words from Honor Health? I know you also really quickly wanted to touch on the process behind it as well. So a little bit of the last minutes for Honor Health, and then maybe about the process if you
Sure. This is a great time virtually to network. I know a lot of things are shut down and we don't have the opportunity to get together in person, but to Alana's point, I mean, let's start conversations offline through virtual channels. You all are on Facebook. You can reach me on LinkedIn, for example, but don't hesitate to reach out to each other. Don't hesitate to reach out to any of, well, I don't want to speak for my fellow panelists, but reach out to me. Feel free to stay in touch with Honor Health through our talent community, through Facebook as well, and LinkedIn. This is a great time to connect with people. I mean, not only within our own backyards, but across the nation. So if you're open to relocating, I mean, I want to keep you at Honor Health, don't get me wrong, but if you have to leave the state, I mean, this is a great time to just start forming some alliances and connections. In regards to Honor Health's process, our process is about 2 to 4 weeks from start to finish. So you can certainly keep in touch with me if you've applied and like to know more about the status of your application. But more importantly, please visit honorhealthjobs.com and select the returning applicant login to find out more about the status of your application. So then that way you know kind of what's happening and you feel as if you haven't just submitted your application to a black hole. And our process does entail, I mean, we've been virtual for about 4 years now with our screening process with our recruiters and as well as our hiring managers. And we also, kind of like some of the other panelists talked about, we do background checks as well as drug screens. So that's all part of those 2 to 4 weeks. We invest in you, so we hope you'll invest in us.
Exactly. And Lee, I love that you brought up the community oriented, because I can already see it in the comment section. We have people who are looking to hire too, and they're jumping in, being like, hey, if you need a job, come here or do this. So I think that's huge for people to come together. We're all going through something in one way or another, and it's great to help others and have companies that are willing to invest in you as well. Liz Martinez, any final words from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona?
Yeah, just really piggybacking off of what everyone else said. You know, our CEO had said, this is a time with that we need to stay connected socially and distanced physically. So just using your connections, your resources, a lot of job boards and professional platforms are doing great to help right now during this pandemic as well. And just using those resources, using your connections, connecting with us. You know, again, if you don't see a job posted on our webpage, jobs.azblue.com, you know, engaging with our chatbot, talking to one of our staffing specialists, and just making those relationships now, I think will be very helpful.
Perfect. And I think all of you guys have been so helpful today. I've seen it in the comment section, and I see some questions still coming in. We do have to wrap up here shortly, but Gina Martinez, want to let you know, if you go to abc15.com/town hall, we put all of the links to all of these lovely women and their companies and how they can help you, how you might be able to get a job with them, and different tips. We also are going to post this entire town hall here on that website, as well as on all of our streaming devices with ABC 15. So if you missed a particular question, you can watch it again very shortly. So thank you all for joining us live here today. Thank you to all of you for adding your expertise. Alana O'Neill, State Farm, Courtney Nelson with Goodwill, Leah Hill with Honor Health, and Liz Martinez with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. Thank you for your time, and hopefully we get some hires out of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.